Hello and welcome to TMR Talks. Today's video is about the IPO analysis of Laxmi Organic Limited, which is into specialty chemical sector. Along with that company, parallelly we have Anupam Rasayan, which launched its IPO on last Friday, and this company is also into specialty chemical segment. I have done the detailed analysis of this company and the video link is pinned up. And in that video, I had actually explained what is a specialty chemical and how is it different from a basic chemical. So if you wish to understand all of that, then you can go to that video and then come back here. Now let us understand the business of Laxmi Organics. It is a manufacturer of acetyl intermediaries and specialty intermediaries. So these are the two main segments in which they have been operating. Now we will try to understand a little more details about both of these segments. So these are the kind of products that are manufactured under acetyl intermediaries, and if you can see the first product, which is ethyl acetate in India, this company has a market share of around 30% in the Indian ethyl acetate market. So ethyl acetate is actually used while packaging different products. I'll give you a few examples. So Maggi packets, shampoo sachets or wafer packets, in this ethyl acetate is used. Now globally, and specifically if I were to tell you about Europe, then in their flexible packaging industry around 70% of this chemical is used. Whereas in India that percentage is very low because in India other solvents are also used. But now the government is actually coming up with different rules and regulations to remove these other solvents, and hence the ethyl acetate capacities will increase, which will ultimately help the company. So it's basically like a upstream for FMCG. And also if we were to talk about the other segment, the specialty intermediary segment, in that the main product, which is the diketene derivatives, in India this company has a 55% market share in terms of revenue for fiscal year 2020, and they have the largest portfolio. So they have round about 34 different products under this particular segment. This is how the customer base of this company looks like. So it is very interesting, because they don't have a complete or more dependency on any one of the sector. Along with that, as far as their clients are concerned, they do not have more than 10% revenue generation from any one of the clients, which is also interesting. And this is how the geographical presence of the company is. Around 25% of the revenue is coming from exports and rest is yet in India. The company has certain unutilized capacities. Along with that, as you can see, they have two distilleries. Now these distilleries provide effective control over the raw material, and it also reduces their dependence on any third party. So it actually provides them ethanol and specially denatured spirit, which would help in manufacturing the other product. Let us come to the next important segment, which is the strategic expansion plans of the company. So the company is right now in the middle of an acquisition. So they are planning to acquire this company named as Yellowstone Chemical Private Limited. And after this acquisition, the market share of this company in the ethyl acetate market will be enhanced, and it will also add to their capacity. So approximately 39,700 MTPA will be added to their current capacities. That's one thing. Secondly, they commenced the manufacturing of the specialty intermediaries by acquiring Clariant Chemicals, one of the business segments, which was diketene business. This happened back in the year 2010. Now, right now they are in the process of increasing the capacity of this particular second segment, which is SI manufacturing. So from 78,000 MTPA to 82,000 it will be increased. Third point is, and the most important point is, they are going to diversify the business and they are entering into a new segment called as fluorochemicals. So they have recently acquired assets which includes plant and machinery, design, operating paperwork, registrations, patents of Miteni. So it is a Italy-based manufacturer of this organic fluoro specialty. That's a totally new segment in which the company would be operating. And you remember I earlier told you that this company serves different kind of segments such as pharmaceuticals, agrochemical, dyes. So this is how the growth for all of these segments looks like from 2019 to 2024. All of them have roughly 10 to 12% of growth in the coming future. And now after their entry into fluoro specialty chemicals, they will be able to serve aerospace, automobile and flame retardant segments as well, which is a very positive thing. Now, there are certain positive estimations that the company has given with respect to fluoro specialty. So they say that up to 20% of pharma molecules have fluorine in them. Secondly, up to 50% of agrochemical molecules are also developed using fluorine recently. Also, this sector globally and obviously in India, it is in an upward growth phase. Now let's talk about the revenues that the company make. How much is the company making? So if you were to look at this chart carefully, we can see that the revenue is stagnant in the year 2020. There isn't any rise that we can see. So the company has stated two main reasons for that. One is that in the year 1920, they had done heavy fixed cost investment. There was a project which was commissioned. That's one reason. Secondly, around August 2019, there were floods, and because of which their entire factory was shut for around about 30 days. That is one thing, and along with that, for 15 days they had to shut the factory because of COVID. So for around about 45 days the factory was shut and the production was down by approximately 50%, and hence you can see that stagnancy in the revenues for that particular year. Acetyl intermediaries is contributing round about 55 to 60% of the total revenue. Specialty chemical segment, which was started back in 2010, is contributing roughly 30%. And now when the fluorochemical segment will be added, this is probably going to change in the future. The margins are at one given level, but I believe they should focus on improving the margins. The debt is also not too much, which is a positive factor. The return ratios ROCE and ROE are at a good level. 16 to 17% is a good number. This is the EPS and the PE. So the post-IPO PE, if we take into consideration the entire yearly revenue, it comes to 35, which is in line with the industry PE. But like I told, that the company should actually focus on improving their margins. That will be a positive factor or a beneficial thing for the company, because rest of the companies have the EBITDA margins of round about 20% and this company is having around 10%. So they should work on this. Let me give you a few offer details. The issue opens on 15th March. It will go on till 17th March. The company is planning to raise 600 crores. Half of it is fresh issue and the other half is offer for sale. The face value is ₹2 and issue price is 129 to 130. The company is going to use the fresh issue fund for different reasons as they have mentioned here. It includes working capital requirement, funding the capital expenditure requirements such as buying of plant and machinery. Then there are part financing of capital expenditure requirement for the new deal that they are getting into, the new acquisition of the Yellowstone Chemical Company. And then there are certain repayments that they have to do of the borrowings that they had taken. Coming to the most crucial part, which is the conclusion part. So we understand that the company has a 3-decade-long history. In the past, they have successfully taken over the specialty intermediary division of the Clariant Chemical, and right now they are in the process of 2 such acquisitions. So one of them will help them in strengthening their capacities in the AI segment. The YCPL acquisition will do that. And the second one, which is the fluorochemical segment, so they'll be able to enter into a totally new segment. This company belongs to the sector which is in a sweet spot, and they have been taking all the right initiatives that they must in order to grow organically and along with that with the deals and acquisitions, etc. So I believe this is a good IPO for investment. You can proceed ahead with it. If you have any questions, then please let us know. You can mention it in the comments section. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. We come up with videos related to financial analysis, IPO study, economic analysis, etc. And thank you so much.